All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Always up for a good story.
Today, we're diving into something a bit unexpected.
Hmm.
It's about Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq. Okay, I'm intrigued.
But, this isn't about basketball, no slam dunks or championships this time. This is Shaq, the person, off the court, doing something, well, something pretty incredible, actually.
I'm all ears.
We're working with a single source for this one.
Just one. Okay.
It's a detailed narrative, though. Reads like a modern-day fairy tale, really.
I love those. Get to the good stuff.
Okay, so imagine this, Shaq. Dressed to the nines,
Yeah.
suit and tie,
Fresh off the court or,
actually just leaving a charity event at a fancy hotel.
Yeah.
Big crowd, bustling city, you get the picture.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's this little girl, tiny, clinging to his leg, looks absolutely terrified.
Oh, wow.
The contrast is pretty jarring, right?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq's this larger-than-life figure, and then this small, fragile child,
Yeah.
swallowed up by the city almost.
Exactly. And she's not just scared, she's on edge. A shopkeeper comes out, accuses her of loitering, and she bolts.
Oh, no.
And get this, Shaq. He doesn't just move on.
Really?
He's so concerned about this little girl, he actually tells his driver to slowly cruise the streets to try and find her.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Not what I was expecting.
Right. Like, how often do you see that kind of genuine compassion, especially from someone in his position?
Yeah, it would have been so easy to just keep walking. But he doesn't. He sees her.
And they do find her, eventually.
Yeah.
Huddled on the sidewalk, clutching a little cup, probably for coins. You can tell she's trying to be invisible.
Lost in the crowd, just another face in the city.
Yeah. And when they finally approach her, you can hear the fear in her voice. Her name is Emma. Slowly, she starts to open up to Shaq.
I bet. I mean, it's Shaq.
Reveals she has this nasty bruise and that she desperately needs medicine. Turns out she's begging to try and save her own life.
Oh, wow. So she's not just out there, she's actually sick.
Yeah, really sick.
This just keeps getting more and more intense.
Right, and that's when things really shift.
Yeah.
Shaq, he doesn't just hand her some cash and walk away. He makes her a promise. He says, I'll help you, Emma. We're going to fix this right now.
He's serious.
Dead serious. Scoops her up, takes her straight to the hospital, promises to cover all the expenses. No hesitation.
Wow. And what about his people, like his manager?
Jamie, his manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worried, of course. Concerned about Shaq's image, his career, all that.
Makes sense. I mean, it's a big deal, right?
It's huge.
Yeah.
But Shaq, he shuts it down immediately. Says something like, I don't care about my reputation or contracts right now. I'm not leaving until I know she's getting all the help she needs.
That's a powerful statement, and he follows through.
Absolutely. Waits anxiously during her surgery, comforts her, reassures her. Emma, she even starts calling him Uncle Shaq.
So it's more than just a financial thing. There's a real connection there.
Definitely. A
Yeah.
bond forming in the middle of all this.
That's really something. But I have to ask, is this, truly altruistic, or is there some PR element to this? It is Shaq we're talking about, after all.
It's tough to say for sure. I mean, who can really know what's in someone's heart? But this isn't just about money for Shaq. It's something deeper. And this is just the beginning, too. This experience, it sparks a much bigger vision for him.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
He's not content with just helping Emma. He wants to help all the kids at the orphanage and beyond.
So it's evolving.
Yeah. He's starting to think about building a whole new orphanage. Modern, with a medical clinic, the whole 9 yards. Wants to create a place where these kids can really thrive.
That's a huge undertaking.
For sure. And of course, there's pushback.
I bet.
His business associates, they're worried. Tell him he's spreading himself too thin, risking his brand.
Typical, right? Always focus on the bottom line.
But Shaq, he's got tunnel vision at this point. Emma's all that matters. He brushes off the naysayers, brings her gifts, throws movie nights in her hospital room, anything to lift her spirits during chemo.
Sounds like he's really going above and beyond.
He is. And she needs it too. Because, going through something like that, especially at such a young age.
Must be terrifying.
A source describes moments of intense fear, fatigue. There are times when she doubts if she'll even make it.
Just heartbreaking to think about. So what happens next?
Well, that's what we'll dive into in the next part. We'll see how Emma's journey unfolds, her resilience, and how Shaq's support really impacted her life in those crucial moments. But before we go there, what stands out to you so far? What are you thinking?
Honestly, it's just incredible how this one encounter has changed everything. Not just for Emma, but for Shaq, too. It's like he's discovered a new purpose, a new way of being in the world. And it makes you wonder, how much are we letting our own fears and self-interest hold us back from making a real difference? So Shaq's got this vision, this idea for Shaq's House of Hope. It's more than just a typical orphanage
Right,
room.
more. He's really thinking outside the box with this one.
So what's he actually planning?
Okay, so he wants to create this whole environment, not just a place to live, but a place to heal and grow.
I like where this is going.
He's super involved in the design, even down to the little details, like the playground, the furniture. It's like he's building a dream home for these kids.
Creating a space where they can feel safe and nurtured.
Exactly. He's thinking about their emotional well-being, too. He's setting up all these programs, visits from celebrities, tutoring, even a music room. Wants them to explore their creativity. Dream big.
That's amazing. Empowering them to reach their full potential. He's really going all out.
He is. And you know what's interesting? He's not just focused on the kids.
Oh.
He's making sure the staff at the orphanage are taken care of, too. They have the resources they need, the support.
That's smart
Yeah.
because their well-being directly impacts the kids they're caring for.
It's all connected. He's building a community, not just a building. But I'm curious about Shaq in all of this. He started out wanting to help Emma, but it seems like this whole experience has changed him, too.
In what way?
Like, he's found a new definition of success. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about something bigger.
It's amazing how acts of giving can have such a profound impact on the giver.
Totally. And the world's taking notice.
Mm.
Emma's story, Shaq's involvement, it becomes a media sensation. People are inspired. Donations are pouring in.
The power of storytelling, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And Shaq, he sees this as an opportunity to do even more.
Like what?
He's not satisfied with just building orphanages. He wants to go deeper, address the root causes of poverty and inequality.
Wow. He's thinking systemically, not just Band-Aid solutions.
Exactly. He starts pushing for educational reforms, job training programs, things that empower families and communities to lift themselves out of poverty.
That's a much tougher battle.
It is. But he's not afraid to use his platform to speak out, even if it ruffles some feathers. And he's putting his money where his mouth is, investing in businesses, in underprivileged communities, creating jobs.
Putting those resources to work, that's leadership.
And it's catching on. Other celebrities, business leaders, they're following his lead. Suddenly, it's cool to care, to give back.
The ripple effect in action.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All this started with one man deciding to help a scared little girl outside a hotel.
Proof that even the smallest act of kindness can have a huge impact.
But amidst all of this, I keep thinking about Emma. Where is she in all of this? How has this experience shaped her life?
Yeah, we've focused a lot on Shaq, but she's the heart of this story.
Exactly. What's her life like now? Well, that's what we'll explore in the final part of this deep dive. We'll hear about Emma's journey, her resilience, and the lasting impact this whole experience has had on her. We've heard about Shaq's transformation, how he's dedicated himself to making a difference. But what about Emma? How has her life changed since that day outside the hotel?
It's amazing she's really thrived. She's become this symbol of hope, not just for the other kids at Shaq's House of Hope, but for so many people.
The source paints this picture of her as this bright, energetic young woman. She's not just living at the orphanage, she's leading there, mentoring the younger kids.
That's incredible, going from needing care to giving it.
Right. It speaks volumes about how powerful support and empathy can be.
Absolutely. She's taking everything she's learned and using it to lift others up.
And her impact reaches beyond the orphanage, too. She's become a real advocate for children's health and education, sharing her story, encouraging people to get involved.
Wow. That takes a lot of courage, especially considering what she's been through. It makes you wonder, did Shaq's actions spark this in her, or was it always there, just waiting to come out?
It's a good question. Maybe it's a bit of both, but there's definitely a sense that Shaq gave her the confidence to believe in herself. And remember that basketball he gave her in the hospital?
Yeah, the one he signed.
That one. Well, she didn't just keep it as a souvenir. Turns out she's a pretty good player now.
No way.
Yeah, she's on the orphanage's team, even coaches the junior league. It's like she took that gift and turned it into a way to connect with others, build community.
That's beautiful. A real testament to the ripple effect of Shaq's kindness.
And the story doesn't end there. This source really emphasizes that Shaq and Emma, their bond, it's still strong today.
They stayed in touch.
Oh, yeah. They visit, they talk, they even play basketball together sometimes.
That's amazing. So it wasn't just a one-time thing for Shaq. He made a real commitment to her.
He did. And that's what makes this story so impactful, I think. It's about human connection, the lasting effects of kindness. It leaves you feeling hopeful.
Absolutely. And it challenges us, too. Shaq's story shows that we all have the power to make a difference.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I'd like to leave you with a question. What's one small act of kindness you can do today? It doesn't have to be huge. Even a simple gesture can create ripples.
Remember, change starts with each of us. Every journey begins with a single step. What step will you take today to make the world a little brighter?
That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.